here we go. We're going to go Motivated by Sinners once again. We got another sinners-related topic. But this topic is really black people and horror pictures and what Sinners reveals, right? Sinners revelations about black people and horror movies. And this comes on the heel of a weekend of a lot of interactions and conversations about Sinners in different spaces. You know, I went to a track and field event, I went to Formula One, and I went to a Comic-Con, all in the same weekend. And everybody was talking about Sinners, you know, or quick to make Sinners comments, or Sinners came up, whatever it was. Wasn't a panel discussion or nothing like that, but it was just casual discussion. And it's crazy how, you know, let's not overuse it's crazy. It's interesting how people use the Bible to let themselves get spooked. It's interesting how people kind of don't understand horror. Really, that's kind of what it boils down to. They don't understand horror movies. And it's sort of surprising after all these years, all these things we have. Freddy, Jason, I'm battling thinking, you know, there's excuses, right? Because I have people that haven't seen Black Panther, okay? I mean, they're not children either. These are older people that was in their 30s and 40s when Black Panther came out. And they just never saw it. And I think that's a special kind of individual. And I'll go into these type of people because these are the things that I have to beat down in my head to kind of understand the other people, you know. So let me rule these out. One is the people that haven't seen the movie and like Sinners. There's white people that I think, you know, don't see movies that everybody's talking about because there's some black resistance, straight out. There's no other way to explain it. They have a difficulty with, you know, whether it's Black Captain America or Black City like Wakanda, and they just have a psychological barrier. They can't get into it. Their preconditioned mindset of what a future look like, what black people are limited to, keeps them from even investigating. It's not like they are gotta go to see it for entertainment value. They're scared to even look at it just to explore what other people are talking about. And that's white people who haven't seen like it, but it's an easy call. But then there's black people that haven't seen it, and we're going in the third week of Sinners, and they're seeing Thunderbolts, they've been seeing, you know, all these other movies, but they haven't seen Sinners. And when they say, you know, why, it always feels like an excuse. You know, one guy on the radio was like, the trailer didn't make sense. And he's, you know, where did the vampires come from? I'm like, where do they come from in any movie? What the heck do you need? Every vampire movie has to be a vampire origin story? Are you kidding me? We love The Lost Boys. We love Dusk Till Dawn, to give you an example, you know. But there's where do the vampires come from in Lost Boys? Right? Where did the vampires come from in Dusk Till Dawn? They just happen. You ran into them. Here's what it is. No leads. I mean, that was the whole switch in Dusk Till Dawn, was that it was a regular gangster that went into a rough nightclub, and it turned out to be a vampire nightclub. You know what I'm saying? And in Lost Boys, they were just free-willing kids. You didn't expect them to be vampires. Like, these are like daredevil kids, thrill seekers, you know, what is it? The Point Break type dudes, you know, Jackass type kids. But yet, there you go. They turned into be vampires. So vampires don't need an explanation. And to me, to ask for an explanation like where you're doing too much. Just say you have a problem with blackness. That's really what it boils down to. Now, let's understand the Christian defense, right? Or the Christian apprehension, the Christian resistance, right? They're resisting it. They're apprehensive. They're turned off. You're letting demons into your house or to your body. I don't play with demons. The only time I ever hear black people talk about demonish movies is when it's a black movie. You don't hear black people say, I'm not watching Freddy Krueger because it's letting demons in. You know, nobody, you know, Exorcist, that's real stuff. I don't watch that because it's demons. I have to ask. I'm hoping, you know, that's part of my research that's unexplored, but I'm hoping that there are some black people that find apprehension through their Christian values in other movies besides Sinners. You know, I want to see it. I want to hear it out there because to me, it is full of crap. Not to mention to use it for movies and not use it for other things, you know, because the belief that you're letting spirits, negative energy, that comes from watching the news. You know, I mean, the news is all around us, but a lot of it is very negative. And then you have, you know, politics. You can use that on politics. You know, it's very negative what's going on out here in the world. So, I don't know, you know. And let me just deal with over-scrutiny in general. Let me deal with over-scrutiny in general. When it comes to, it's like dusk till dawn. You know, he's not creative. I thought it would be a creative movie. That to me is a crock of nonsense too. Because it is like dusk till dawn, but just as I showed you, all these movies use energy switches, right? What is like dusk till dawn? It was, you know, a movie about guys opening up a nightclub, and it turns out to be vampires engaging and destroying, coming to wreck the party, and then the movie turns into a horror movie. Oh shoot, the energy switched. But see, Dusk Till Dawn was a gangster movie. Quentin Tarantino had made Reservoir Dogs and other shoot 'em up movies. So when you see these two brothers on the run, kidnapping a family, trying to get to Mexico for a border, that seems like a good movie on its own. You know, how many times we've seen people get kidnapped in a movie and they get loose and it just be a different, interesting movie. You know, at least in Sinners, you had the vampire being chased by the indigenous Americans, and he goes into the house of white people, you know, and looks real sassy. You don't know he's a vampire, but if you watch the trailer, that would be a good guess, right? And you see him being real sassy up in there, right? And that's cool, but in reality, they're giving you a clue. Okay, this is going to be a vampire movie. This is a vampire, or he's a victim of vampires. Something's going on, you know. They gave you none of that, Quentin Tarantino. So to me, that's an energy switch that wasn't the same. What else they could say is the same? Oh, it was a bar, you know, a seedy bar. Yeah, pretty much all bars are seedy. There's nothing Christian or righteous or religious about hanging in a bar. The movie Sinners was also very clear with it. They called it sinners. They sold alcohol. You understand? They were breaking off and having sex in the side, coupling. People were there without their husbands and wives. We do it so much. We just thought that was a regular juke joint. And it was a regular juke joint. But in the beginning days of juke joints, they were looked down at. There were no juke joints where these Africans came from in Africa. They didn't get down with music late at night and start dancing and grinding on each other and drinking. That is American. We gotta own that. You understand? So from the very beginning, that is sinners, and that's where the sinning took place. They didn't need not Eva Longoria. Golly, I forgot the lady's name. The one that's dancing in Dusk Till Dawn. They don't need her, Salma Hayek. They don't need a Salma Hayek doing a strip tease in the what you call juke joint being a titty bar. I don't even know when black people started getting strip clubs and titty bars. It seems like they started off as traveling exotic shows. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that was our equivalent of something wild, something full of sin, but that was what it was. I don't know when titty bars started in Mexico. I don't think they really even cared to get that history right. I know in the television series Dusk Till Dawn, Robert Rodriguez, who worked with Quentin Tarantino on it, tried to add a Mayan element to the vampires, but that's it. I mean, people were attacking sinners because the vampires really just popped up, but they popped up in Dusk Till Dawn. So, Dusk Till Dawn is okay, right? I enjoyed it when it came out. It's definitely a legendary picture, but what makes Sinners beyond just good, right? Like Crazies is a good zombie picture, but if a black person like Mr. Carroll does it and connects black history to it, connects the under all these swallowed cities, and gives it some depth and ties in some music or griots and puts it in a real place where people are, need to get away because of segregation or sharecropping and that that's layering it. That's making it great. That's what makes Sinners better than Dusk Till Dawn. You had the enriched environment. All of the people that came to Dusk Till Dawn were just gangsters, and you didn't even know all of the different things that they did. Many times, in these stories, they would show you the different people's history. Like Predators. Oh, he's a crazy doctor, or he's a jail serial killer, or he's a hitman. They didn't really even tell you all of the different things that the people were in Dusk Till Dawn, and it's fine. It didn't really need it because it worked. Now everybody want to find out everything. What day? How did he become a vampire? Why don't the crosses work? What is it about the garlic? What's about the holy water? How did they know to use it? Well, she was a hoodoo lady. She was familiar with vampires. This ain't her first go round. She might not have met them personally, but she knew they could possibly exist because she knew the supernatural. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, that's just it. Just wanted to touch base about some of the BS excuses. You know what I'm saying? Some of the BS excuses that people had in watching Sinners. So that's it. Jeff Carroll out. Like, subscribe, share, comment. I hope this. I don't know. I don't really even hope. This may be my last Sinners commentary, but there may be some stuff that come up. All right. Talk to you later. Peace.